Hey guys, if you're watching this video, that means your makeup has shipped and it's on its way. So this video is just to help you to get started and know what to do when your makeup arrives. So first you'll see that your makeup will arrive in these little beautiful tins. And so the first step you want to do is just to slide your makeup out of its tin and to pop it into your compact. The compacts are magnetic and so they'll just grab onto these little tins. And there's no rhyme or reason how to set up your compact. I like to kind of set mine up in order of highlights, contour. I have my bronzer over here. I have my illuminators up here and then a second contour right here, just depending on how big your palette is and how many makeup singles you got. Then I like to put my powders on one level just to keep it clean so they don't kind of sprinkle into the creams. But if you want to mix and match, that's totally up to you. And so I just have my eyeshadows and my setting powder down here. And then of course, this is like the triple decker. This is like the biggest compact you can get. But of course you have some blushes up here, probably with your highlights and contours. So first, just figure out kind of how you wanna face them. You can face them either way. They fit both ways. So kind of what feels good to you. And then let's get started putting the makeup on. One thing I want you to think about is the makeup. I think the biggest mistake people make with this makeup is putting too much on. This makeup, honestly, a little bit goes a long way. And so start out with a light layer of makeup, especially on the highlight, and then go big on the contour. People are scared to put a lot of contour on, but you can always blend it out. You can always make it blur the lines, and don't be afraid to put on some contour. Okay, let's have fun. So I usually recommend two brushes. I always recommend the blush and bronzer brush because this is just an awesome brush for a lot of things. It's good for putting on highlight, blush, bronzer, blending. And then I also recommend the Buffy brush or the Detail Hack. So depending on which one you decided to get, I'll show all three today, and so you can kind of see how those go. I'm gonna first start with contour, and I'm gonna use this Detail Hack brush, and I'm gonna dip it into my contour. Contour is a little bit stickier than highlight, and so you do have to kind of dig a little bit to get it on your brush. And actually, I'm gonna first pull my hair back with these little bobby pins. It's kind of staticky, and so I just want it out of my face. Okay, so I'm going to get this Detail Hack brush, put it in my contour, and then I'm gonna start right here at my cheekbone. You can kind of feel for your cheekbone, and you wanna just cup that cheekbone and go up to the top of your ear. And you can use swiping motions, you can use stippling. This also has coverage, so if you have some scarring or anything you want to cover, stippling is a better option. So there's that. You want to err on the side of high as opposed to low. You don't want to get down in here with your contour. We want to lift and sculpt those cheekbones. So depending on your face shape, you can kind of stop right here, or if you want to bring it all the way down, you can kind of just see which one you like better. And then you just want to stop in the middle of your pupil. Okay, and then whatever's kind of left over, I'll just do my jawline with. And then we're gonna come up here and do my forehead. I'm just gonna kind of do half my face here. If you need more product, get more product. You can kind of stay up here by your hairline, or you can bring it down a little more, just depending on the size of your forehead. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to the Buffy brush, just in case this is the one you got. I'm gonna start with the small end, get some contour on. And then I'm gonna start right here on my cheekbone and swipe or stipple. Like with this brush, you can kind of do both. So don't be scared. This is what it should look like. If yours looks like this, you're on the right track. You want it to look a little bit scary to begin with because that means you got enough on there. If you can't see your contour, then you need more. So I'm just putting it along my hairline. And then whatever's left over, I'll just rub along my jaw. I don't like a dark line down there as much. Okay, so that's contour. Then I'm gonna use the Buffy brush and apply some highlight. So I'm just gonna start, so when I color match you, I always do two highlights. So I do basically your main highlight and then a brightener highlight. So the main highlight is gonna help color correct, smooth out your skin, cover any dark spots, any redness. And then the brightener highlight is just gonna come under here, under your eyes, and just make you look so bright and beautiful. If you find that your brightener highlight feels a little bit too light, maybe you're not used to that look, you can always mix the two, just kind of dip into both to put it on under there. So the sky's the limit with these colors. You can definitely mix them. If you feel like the color is off for some reason, contact me and we can get you a different color. So I'm here for you. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Buffy brush, this bigger end, and I'm gonna just dip it lightly into my into my highlight. And then I'm just gonna go on these areas where I didn't contour. Especially paying attention to areas that are red or need color correcting. If you want just a lighter finish, you can just basically put this only in the areas that you want to color correct. You don't have to put it everywhere. And then under my eye area, I like to press and stipple a lot more. Just have a lot more fine lines and wrinkles in that area and gentle, delicate skin. So this is a great brush for pressing the makeup into. Oh, I'm doing both sides. I was gonna show you the other brush. I just got carried away. I'll just kind of show you without putting too much makeup on. So that's the Buffy brush for highlight. If you wanna use your blush and bronzer brush, this is also a great brush for highlight. This is a really great way to layer or to put just a light layer of the highlight on. So I'm gonna dip into my brightener shade and I'll show you with this brush. And then I'm just gonna press underneath my eye in kind of a triangle shape. So starting right next to my nose and then out. And then kind of when I have a little bit less product on, I go under my eye. And you can press as well or swipe, whatever works. And then while you're at it, you can just put whatever's excess on your eye and that will just prime for some eyeshadow. And also if you're not doing eyeshadow, it just evens out your skin tone right there. You can put a little bit right here, just right at the top. Anything left over kind of on your chin, on your nose. And then for blending your contour, I'm gonna wait a second and do some some bronzer, and then we'll go back through and blend our contour. So I'm gonna take this brush and just flip it over to this fluffy side. And if you got some bronzer, this would be the time to do it. I have this Bella Cream bronzer and then this Glow Illuminator that I'm loving side by side in my compact. So I just grab both of those colors with this fluffy brush, and then I'm just gonna bronze. So I'm bronzing where the sun would naturally hit my face. So notice that the contour was under my cheekbone and the bronze is going just right on top of it. Kind of right where you would put your blush. And this just adds, my hair's getting crazy. This just adds a little bit of a sun-kissed glow where the contour was sculpting our bone structure. Okay, so we got some bronzer. I'm gonna also put some on my neck. If you find that your face is a little bit warmer than your neck, often our neck is really white because it doesn't really get any sun. So this helps kind of even out those colors. Okay, so let's do some blush. And if you decide to use this for your highlight, then I would probably stay away from putting pink on this side. I would just use this fluffy end to grab your blush. I'm gonna use this yummy color called Summer Love. It's a satin finish, and so it's kind of got a sheen on your face. And you can use a finger to put it on your cheek if you're only using one brush. And then just go back through and blend. Or you can use this fluffy side till you apply your blush. If you're using the Buffy brush for highlight, then you can go ahead and just use this blush end. This is a perfect density and just shape for applying blush. So there's all kinds of options depending on what brush you ended up with. Let's see if I got enough blush. Don't skip the blush. The blush is so beautiful and it just makes your face look really alive, kind of flushed and good coloring. And I'm just gonna blend that out. I'm gonna blend out my chin a little bit more. Okay, so this is kind of a little fun step. Totally don't need to do this, but You can try contouring your nose if you want to. And this does take some practice, but it's kind of fun to play around with. So I'm just gonna take this detail hack and just kind of dab that edge right there in my contour. And then I'm gonna point my face down and just put a really light line of contour down the top of my nose. And we're trying to just make two skinny lines on the top of our nose, two skinny shadows. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of both highlights, so my brightener and my regular one. I'm gonna go for some more bright and put it right there in the middle of my nose. So can you see how that just made my nose look a little more narrow? If you have a narrow nose, don't worry about it. If this stresses you out, don't worry about it. It's kind of fun to play with and just get better at. And then I just go back through and blend. I didn't even put any more makeup on. I'm just gonna go back through and blend those lines a little bit. Okay, one last step, we're gonna do illuminator. And whether you got a powder illuminator or a cream illuminator, if you got the powder illuminator, you could use this fluffy side of this brush to apply it onto the top of your cheekbones. I mostly recommend a cream illuminator at first. So I'm just gonna use my finger and just tap it along the tops of my cheekbones. So you wanna kind of stay out of your wrinkle area. You wanna be low enough that you're out of the wrinkle area and then just right there on the top of your cheekbone. So when the light catches, it will just shine and look beautiful and youthful right there. So you can put it right there. You can put a little bit on your nose and then right there on the bridge. You can put some illuminator right here on your Cupid's bow. You can throw some right here underneath your brows. And then even I like to put some right here on the inner corners of my eyes sometimes. Okay, so that's illuminator. Now I talked about blending our contour. So you can use your detail hack, you can use your Buffy, you can go back through with your blush and bronzer brush. You just kind of want to be aware, do I have a lot of pink on here? If so, you can just swirl it on a paper towel or a towel. I usually just use the brush that I contoured with. So you can kind of go and look and see, did it blend enough when I put my blush and bronzer on? If you want it to blend a little more, I just use upward strokes and blend it out a little bit. Don't blend it out too much though, because this is so beautiful. Having that beautiful shadow on your profile, that's one of my favorite things about this makeup. And so you want to blend it to where you feel like there's no harsh lines and you're comfortable with it, but don't blend it all the way that it disappears. And if you do, just put more on. Okay, so that's the basic hack right there. We got our highlight, contour, blush, and illuminator. So those are the 4 basic things, plus our brightener highlight. And then if you want to keep on, I'm going to show you a little bit of an eyeshadow look. So super easy. I already primed my eyes with my highlight. I'm gonna grab this Eyeshadow Everything brush. It's got a super fluffy end and then a really small dense end, which I love. And I'm gonna go super basic today and put on basic. And I'm just gonna grab some and put it on the crease. And actually I have what's the word? Hooded eyes. I have hooded eyes, so when I open my eyes, you can't really see my eyelids that well. And so I go pretty high, pretty much on my brow bone. And I'm going to start on this 3/4 the way out and then just do circular motions in. I don't really like to windshield wiper because then I end up with a ton of eyeshadow out here and that just makes your eyes look droopy. I'm gonna grab some more basic and I'm just basically contouring my eye right now. So I'm just deepening that natural shadow in my crease. And then another thing I like to do is just flop the end, grab some basic, that same color, and put it underneath my eyes. So it kind of acts as a really, really, really soft eyeliner. I don't like to put eyeliner under here. I don't even put mascara on my bottom lashes. I just like to basically do that shadow. And then you can flip your brush and kind of just blend it out. I also really like putting Bright Eyes under there. I recommend that color a lot. Bright Eyes is really pretty under your bottom lash. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do. Just like super boring and easy, but just adding some depth to my eyes. And then I always like to, I'm kind of on an eyeliner kick. This is the Stila All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and it's in black. And I have really, really light eyelashes, and so I like to wear a black eyeliner, and it just strengthens my lash line and makes my eyelashes appear thicker. So especially if you're coming off having extensions and you're getting them taken off, or you have aging eyes and you just need to thicken that lash line, black eyeliner is a game changer. Let's go this way. And I used to be really afraid of liquid liner. Maybe I can't talk while I do this. Okay, I used to be really afraid of liquid eyeliner because I felt like it was kind of like a marker and you had to do it all in one swoop, but you honestly don't. You can just inch it like I showed you. You can just inch it and little by little make your line. You don't have to have it in like 1, 2, 3, let's go. Okay, so before I put my mascara on, I'm gonna use a setting spray. This is called Stay, and it's a setting spray and it just helps to lock your makeup in and keep it all day. If you don't love a dewy look, you can also set your makeup with a pressed powder or a loose powder. If you have one that you love, then feel free to keep using that one. We also have one called Vanilla Dust, and just depending on how you like it, you can just dust it kind of in your T-zone areas where you get oily. You can use your Buffy brush and kind of press it into those areas. I don't like to use a powder. I just like to do the Stay spray and be a little bit dewy. So it's just personal preference on that. So I just like to spray quite a bit. You want to be pretty much drenched for this to work. And then while I'm wet, I just kind of get dressed or like do my hair for a minute and let it just air dry. We also have the Stay spray in SPF 15. I prefer the regular one. The other one irritates my eyes a little bit, so I prefer just the regular Stay spray. And then I just use a sunscreen as my lotion in the morning. So I just use a really light sunscreen, and that's how I get my sun protection. Okay, pretty much done. I'm just gonna throw on some mascara. I like to do the spray before mascara because occasionally it gets kind of wet and it can get kind of under your eye. And the mascara I'm loving right now is called It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And I get it at Sephora or online right now at Sephora. I tried it on Amazon and I got kind of a bad one, so I don't trust Amazon for this mascara right now. Okay. It's a little bit of a spending mascara, but I really like it. I've tried to replace it with some grocery store ones and I keep coming back. I think I need to buy a new tube. Okay. One thing I want to say about the contour, if you didn't end up getting any eyeshadow, you can use one of these brushes and use your contour as eyeshadow, just like I contoured this crease. You can use your contour color as your eyeshadow. I also use contour for my brows. So we have an eyebrow brush, and it's basically just like a cream pomade. You use the contour to line your brows. Just contact me about that if you want to try that, and I can show you a video on how I do my brows. So all kinds of purposes. Also, one last thing, let's throw on some lips, and I always just use my lip and cheeks. I usually chapstick before because I have a little bit of a dry lip, and especially if I'm going to use a matte color. Let's go ahead and just put the Summer Love, the same color that I used on my cheeks. So super easy right there in your palette. Grab some lip color. Another fun thing you can do is line your lips with your contour. That helps to just make them look more full and just, again, enhancing that shadow around your lips. So super easy. All right, so I hope you feel like this helped you get started with your makeup. Please reach out to me. I'm here for you. I'm happy to answer any questions, even just Marco Polo one-on-one if you're struggling with application or anything, if you're confused which color is which. When you open your highlights, remember one is darker and one's lighter. It'll be pretty obvious. All the tins are marked with their name and if it's contour or highlight or illuminator. So I'm just so excited for you to get going. And I know it's kind of a different way of doing makeup, so I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Happy makeup. Have fun today opening your new package.